Hello again, YouTube. This video I'm going to be talking about um, subregions, regions, megaregions, and global regions, and also some of Agenda 21 and how it all ties in. Um, I live in Wisconsin, northern Wisconsin, so most of my information is going to be basically pertaining to Wisconsin. But over here we got the state of Wisconsin, and this large black line right here is what's known as a Circle City. And it's all the major cities, even Minneapolis is involved here too. Yeah, Minnesota, you too. This is basically where everybody within this subregion is supposed to be living. Even though Madison is in the center, it all ties in. Um, the center of the donut hole here, not just a black spot, but you know, this whole area. Nobody's supposed to be in that area. No, nobody's supposed to be living outside of the donut. Um, but that's a new Roman city-state, is what it would be called and referred to. And then we go over to the subregion map. You got northern subregion, western central, uh, northeast, southeast, south central subregions. Regional boundaries, they call them regional boundaries, even though it's a subregion. Pretty much the same thing over here. Um, but like I was showing you, that donut city, that city-state, will run up through Milwaukee, all the way up to Green Bay, over to Wausau, all the way up to Minneapolis, back down. Chicago will be involved. Yeah, you too, Illinois and Minnesota. Yeah, you guys are in on this too. Um, so those are subregions, what they call them. But then we come back here. Where did it go now? So organized, ain't I? I knew it's here somewhere. Here it is. Most of you know what this is. Regional government. These are the federal regions. Um, which we would be, I would be Region 5. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, blah, 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 blah. And then all these counties, all these little smaller lines are counties. They would be eliminated, and the constitutional officers that would be overseeing those counties, townships, towns, villages, uh, supervisor boards, zoning boards, They would be off the map. And they would be replaced, like I was saying, by subregions. Now, we go back here, and then we have the Club of Rome map, the 10 global regions. See, the thing is that even though they would be eliminating a lot of um, so-called governmental positions, with having subregions instead of having townships, counties, what else? The states themselves. They'll say that, oh, it's going to save us money in the long run. No, the power just becomes more consolidated, easier to control everybody, and the bribes that they're paid, weekly bribes, you know, the weekly paycheck. I call them bribes. And also, let's not forget the retirement pensions, the retirement bribes that they get, dental, health, you know, everything else that we're left out of. We got to pay for. I mean, how ludicrous is that? But anyway, getting off subject here. See, in 2002, August 27, 2002, e-newsletter, Wisconsin City Alliance of Cities. Wisconsin Alliance of Cities. They want to they actually want to call a state constitutional convention for Wisconsin to write up a new constitution for this state. See, this is not going to happen in just one generation of what their plan is. It's going to be multiple generations, but it's not here nor there yet. But anyway, and then each state's going to want to do that, I'm sure. And then you go back one page, and you have the new states of America, the proposed new constitution. And that proposed new constitution would be this map here that I showed you. That's what would be considered the new states. Okay, not Wisconsin all by its lonesome, and Illinois and Texas. No, regional states with your city states in there. That's what I see happening. It's a theory, and it's a pretty strong one at that. But I have the entire, for the new states, or new federal region, whatever you want to call them, excuse me, I have the entire Constitution that they plan on having. I'm not going to sit here and read it all to you. You can look it up for yourself. I mean, you can pause the video and maybe get some of that information off that page. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there to you. But with this whole thing, I mean, look at how thick this book is. This is the information that I put together myself on Agenda 21. And all the different little plans and little secret meetings that they have to try to change the way that we live our lives. But I'm going to be doing this in an unconventional manner. I'm going to be starting here in the back of the book. Wildlands Project. Oh, excuse me. Growing Smart. Legislation. Guidebook. Growing Smart. Smart. Smart meter. Smart growth. Smart start. Smart cereal. Smart cars. It's all fucking smart, isn't it? Keywords, people, keywords that they use to implant little memories of what you know, your city officials or whatever, any other county officials might have read. That's what helps to ingrain that keyword into their psyche. Smart, smart. It's smart, smart. We're smart. Excuse me. But then going back here, Dane County, Wisconsin. It's a map. They do the maps in layers as we go along here. Soils, the soils would be one layer. Urban determinants, so on and so forth. Environmental corridors. It's all compiled in the layers. We'll run across a better understanding here sooner or later. High quality soil, urban determinants, environmental corridors. Anyway. But this is a job that somebody does. This is somebody's job, is to use this software to compile these maps. I mean, here we got a picture with 3 people in there sitting at a table. Looks like they're putting a fucking puzzle together. I mean, really? I'm fucking paying people to do this? You're paying people to do this? This, oh, God, whatever. Farmland preservation. See, here's what I was talking about. You're not going to be able to see it. I'm zoomed in as far as I can go. But these maps are compiled in layers, 3D layers. And then once, you know, each layer, as you look at it, it looks okay. You know, it looks real nice and tidy and clean and this and that. But as you add those layers to that map, and you get that last layer down there, which basically says that people are not going to be living in that area, that map is dirty. I mean, dirty with controlling factors. You can't make heads or tails of what the hell you're looking at. But they don't expect you to look at that map as a whole. Land information bulletin. You know, a model for deriving farmland priority zones. You know, come on. No, now the government's gonna get involved in controlling your farms. Come on, farmers, wake up. This affects everybody. Hello? Tax exempt lands. I'd like to be tax exempt. How about you? Steep slopes, road right-of-ways. I mean, you compile these different maps, water, wetlands. You put the wetlands on top of there, it starts to look messy. You put the roads on top of those 3 there, these 2 here, it gets that much more messy. When you start coming up with stuff like that. Okay. Mapping growth management factors. Here's your map layers again. All these black spots here are rivers, lakes, wetlands where you're not supposed to be living. And it gets worse than that. Environmentally sensitive areas. The black lines are county borders. Mapping spatial components. Surface water, wetlands, steep slopes because of runoff. Others. Forest. Oh, floodplains. Well, wouldn't floodplains be part of wetlands because they're potentially going to be flooded? But yet they make it a separate map to keep things clean for when you're looking at it at your job, being a planner. See, creating the water layer, creating the wetland layer, slope layer, and then the environmental corridors. You put these 4 maps together, things get pretty dark as you add those layers. Things get pretty busy. Environmental corridors, land use planning guide. Land information, computer graphics facility, publications and bibliography. And this is it's a resolution that the county supervisors came up with years ago. Senate bill. (2001) Senate Bill 209. Environmental corridors. Planning for natural resources. Identification of forested lands for possible inclusion in a Northwoods Biosphere Reserve. Yep, you ain't gonna be living there. Here's that map again with the Donut City. I don't know what to tell you, people. Environmental corridors. Look how each lake, river, pond, puddle is going to be a corridor, along with the flora and fauna. It's all going to be corridored off, and you're not going to be allowed to breathe on it. You're not going to be allowed to spit on it, whatever. You're not allowed there. Slope, rim, some more of your mapping information. Oh, look at this. What does that say? Tomorrow by Design. Philip H. Lewis Jr. I believe he's from Wisconsin, if I remember correctly. John Wiley and Sons Incorporated. Incorporated. New York, Chichester, Brisbane, Toronto, Singapore. I don't know. I think he's from Wisconsin. Philip H. Lewis Jr. The Blue Book was for Wisconsin, 1964. Environmental corridors and environmental land grabs. 3 decades later, the author, Philip H. Lewis Jr., authored a document called Tomorrow by Design. By design? What more can I say? What more could he say? Wisconsin Administrative Code, that's what this section here is. Let's see, that was for master planning for department properties. Master plan. Master plan for the land grab. Master plan. Like Hitler's final solution. Yeah. What a bunch of sick, twisted psychopaths these people are. Their job is to do this to us. To the rest of us. Are you shitting me? I've spent 25 years looking at all of their garbage. All of it. I'm tired. But nobody else is willing to take up the torch. The only thing that they'll talk about is hoaxes or whatever. Hoaxes, yeah. Yeah, I agree on the hoaxes. I do believe that they're hoaxes. Hoax shootings, yeah. False flag attacks. There's more to it, people. There's more to it than just that. The whole picture. Riparian rights. Riparian means your rights to water. If you're a farmer, you have rights to a river or a lake. You can extract water. You have riparian rights. In historical perspective. In other words, they want to change that. Probably charge for you to be able to use the water, gallons per, gallons. I mean, a farmer would go broke if he was charged that. Even penny a gallon, I mean, my God. Bureau of Land Management, public lands, personal property, abstract, deed, title, abstracted title. See, now abstract and abstracted title are two different things. Deed, it's something separate. Title, it's something different. Riparian rights again. Squatter sovereignty, squatter's rights, squatter occupancy, preemption, the Torrens system, land grant, college or university. Congress granted every state 30,000 acres of land for each senator and representative it had in Congress. The land was to be sold, the proceeds invested, and the income used to create and maintain a college for agricultural and mechanical arts. It has nothing to do with exploring space. Agricultural means feeding your gullet, and mechanical, obviously, is just your basic industry, making building tractors to make farming that much more productive and efficient. That's it. Not for, what is it? I don't even remember the one thing that you're able to go to college and study a certain singer or something like that. Are you fucking serious? Sorry, phone. We'll just shut the door for now. They'll call back if it's important. But anyway, bog species, fen species, floodplain, other transitional plants more commonly found above the ordinary high water mark, OHWM, ordinary high water mark. Floating leaf aquatic plants, marsh species, semi-aquatics, floodplain forests and hardwoods, swamps. Come on, people. Jeez. Public or private? Public or private with a question mark. If it's private, it's private. Inland waterways. Your wetlands or state-owned lake bed. Wetlands. Swamps. Or is it lake bed? They'll claim it as being lake bed. That way they can suck it up. They can suck it up into their areas that are not going to be developed. Grant funding. Millions of dollars. I wish I had that money. Comprehensive planning legislation. Wisconsin comprehensive planning legislation, statutory language changes from 99 Wisconsin Act 9, technical revisions from AB 872, signed into law by Governor Thompson on May 10, 2000. Governor Thompson. Tommy Thompson. Doot doot. Some more grant money. Planning legislation. The new comprehensive. What else we got in here? I know we got some news articles in here we'll get a kick out of because it still pertains to Agenda 21. Bill would give feds control over zoning. Smart houses should be part of smart growth. Did you hear that? Smart houses should be part of smart growth. Yeah. Smart growth is part of smart houses, smart start, smart cereal, smart meters, smart houses, smart cars, smart farts. Jesus Christ. Problems on the horizon. Watch out for sustainable development laws. At least somebody's thinking. Illegal, feudalism, vassal, serfs, servitude. Is comprehensive planning a loyal or feudal? Spiderweb of foundations. Kellogg Foundation, food. Ford Foundation, cars. Industry. Rockefeller Foundation, oil. And that's only 3 of them. There's Gates, there's Mellon, there's Pew, blah, 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 blah. And they all agricultural, industry, land use, international peace, development, redevelopment. Redevelopment? What the hell is that? That should go with development. Education, brainwashing. World population problem. Ooh, yeah, population control. They're into that. You know, here's a condom, here's a pill. Here's something you can insert in your cervix. League of Nations, United Nations, conspiracy, or the carrying spiderweb of interests. That's what I wrote. The carrying spiderweb of interests. Yeah. Kellogg's, Ford Foundation, Kellogg Peace Pact after World War I, Carnegie, Green Revolution, Pew Memorial Trust, Rockefeller. Yeah. Well, and then we're gonna, on this page here, we're gonna have foreign troops. They're gonna be policing America. Belgian troops, Colombian and Venezuelan troops, Russian troops down here by Texas, and looks like Irish over there for California and Washington. And, yeah. And then Mongolian for Mexico. Oh, Mongolian and German and Russian for Canada. Yep. Yeah, this is Operation Vampire Killer 2000. Club of Rome again. And then that's basically it, people. Biodiversity, ecosystem functioning. I mean, somebody gets paid to sit down and make a picture of a bear with a bird with some mountains and some trees and just a couple of, like a little list here of what's going on there. Okay, whatever. Oh, here we go. Where is it? Here we go. State of corruption. Now this is talking about Israel. Palestinians, desired neighborhoods. I don't blame them. Cycle of violence. He's Jewish. I'm not gonna. Jewish Burial Society. Jewish Burial Society volunteers remove a victim's body from the Jerusalem bus destroyed by Palestinian suicide bombing. It says it removes a victim's body. It doesn't say Jewish or Palestinian, it just says victim. The sky's the limit. Look at the white buildings in Israel. So clean. And just, they look like they're hermetically sealed. Sealed off from the rest of the area. It's sick. Oh, and then here they build walls. They put up big concrete blocks, temporary blocks, to try to keep them out from getting in. And then they'll, on the other side of that, they'll put up these partial barriers here that they can move in place by a crane. And you're not going to tip those over. Those are solid concrete, reinforced concrete. You got a pedestal that goes on either side of the vertical wall. So, I mean, that thing's heavy. Molly, shut up. Walling off piece. And that's basically it, people. Global Biodiversity Assessment. Cambridge University Press. That's basically it. Got to tend to my bird. Thanks, everybody.